freedom, resilience, change. Together, we are strong. Together, we are dominant.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. It's DCW Feeding Frenzy, and it's time for our Dominant Championship Wrestling main event. Let's send it to the ring to the beautiful Nadia Hunter.
Introducing first, NWA star, Psycho Boy Fodder!
My name's Gerard Bonner. I'm joined, of course, by the great Brandon Benefield, and we are excited to be here at Feeding Frenzy for this main event match featuring, of course, Psycho Boy Fodder. And no matter where he goes, he does not meet a fan. He does not want to antagonize.
No kidding. They're giving it to him. He's giving it right back, as is usually the case here. But I noticed conspicuous by her absence, the Psycho girl, Angelina Love. I wonder if that's going to come into play here, as the Psycho Boy always used to having Angelina by his side here. But he does have the Psycho stick.
Indeed he does, and sometimes I wonder if her absence makes him more dangerous. You know, on many occasions you would see him depending on her to, you know, make distractions outside of the ring and the like, but now this is going to cause him perhaps to be more dangerous, and I'm nervous about that for his opponent, who of course has tons of experience and knows how to break a rule or two or three.
Absolutely, and of course, after Psycho Boy's last appearance here in DCW, he was given the opportunity to call out anybody who is just as crazy, just as psycho as he is, and I will say that this man coming up right here, this legend, Homicide, fits the bill.
Well, if you want to talk crazy, you talk 5150. You know, one of the things that happens in the sport of pro wrestling is sometimes people play a role and sometimes people are the role. Homicide is absolutely the embodiment of 5150, going loco, and that's what he's done throughout his 3-decade career here in the sport of pro wrestling.
Absolutely, one of the original LAX members alongside Hernandez and Conan. And wait a second, before the bell, Psycho Boy Fodder getting a jump start and going right on the attack on Homicide.
Well, this is kind of unexpected. You know, here it is, Homicide wanted to pay homage there to the great fans who've not had a chance to see him live and in person, and Psycho Boy Fodder says, whoa.
Wait a second. Now, of course, this is not a no disqualification matchup. The referee not letting him use that Psycho stick, and now Homicide taking advantage here and sends Fodder into the corner.
Well, remember, we got here because Fodder wanted to prove who was top tier crazy, and you start doing that by attacking your opponent the way he did, but you can see Homicide had no problem making a comeback.
Quick pin here, but a quick 1 count as Fodder fires up that shoulder and immediately heads to the outside, and this is classic Fodder here, playing some head games, calling timeout. As we know, GB, there's no timeout in pro wrestling.
Certainly no timeout, but these are the kinds of antics that Fodder has learned to do to try to break momentum, but it works when people aren't nearly as crazy and wild as Homicide, who is right behind him. Turn around, Fodder.
Fodder better look out, yeah. Fodder usually heads to the outside, and we say it all the time, that's where he's most dangerous, but in this case, man, what a chop. Homicide maybe even more dangerous on the outside than Fodder.
Well, here's the wild part. You know, you look at Fodder, who has been in the business now 3, almost 4 years, compared to the count of 31 years of Homicide, and so Homicide has forgotten more than I think Fodder might remember, especially when it comes to these dastardly deeds.
And he's got a chair from the crowd, and right to the top of the dome there on Fodder. Fodder being rolled back into the ring now.
And the referee being very lax and lenient with these rules here, because you would have expected perhaps a DQ in some other spaces.
Well, thankfully, the ref giving these fans what they want, not an early disqualification. Going to let this match continue now as Homicide with the advantage on Fodder in the early goings of this matchup.
Homicide, one of the most decorated opponents that Fodder has ever taken on. You're talking about a guy who's a former world champion and tag champion in Ring of Honor, a former tag champion and X Division champion over in TNA. He's done so much, and of course, even recently in the NWA, being a former world junior heavyweight champion.
Now looking for a hip toss, but he gets countered there with that big lariat from Fodder off the ropes. And now Fodder on his feet, and Homicide down on the mat. Now Fodder trying to take advantage.
Here's what's exciting to me about a matchup like this. When you talk about two guys who are battling each other in crazy, this match is not going to be about, special moves and acrobatics. It is punches and kicks and almost a 3 count there.
Ooh. Another quick kick out there. Now you see Fodder trying to just slow down the pace of this matchup, trying to choke the life out of Homicide.
You know what's wild is we've seen in combat sports recently a lot of veterans trying to hop back into the ring, but the thing about a Homicide who's been in the business for 31 years is he's not spent time outside of the ring. He has been going in his career that entire 31 years, which makes him extremely dangerous in this context.
Big back elbow there from Fodder. Takes Homicide back down to the canvas, going to bring him back to his feet. Now Homicide in the corner and right back down once again with that right hand from the Psycho Boy.
And kudos to Fodder. We have seen, we've had a chance to trace his career.
Here. Hang on.
On a 2. We've had a chance to trace the career of Fodder, and Fodder's had the chance in his relatively short career to battle a number of legends. And what's amazing to me is he seems to never be outwardly intimidated by who he's in the ring against.
Yeah, big props to Fodder there. Never backing down from a fight, even if it is with these legendary opponents. You saw him just digging into the face there of Homicide, but Homicide now back to the attack with these body shots, and it looked like he might have been going for that Kochi cutter early, but Fodder saw it coming in a big back suplex.
Right there on the back of the neck of Homicide, and this could be all. Count of 2.
Man, oh man, yeah, it looked like Homicide landed right on the back of his head.
He certainly did, and you think about the career that Homicide has had. He has been a specialist in tag team wrestling, but also a specialist in singles competition as well. And again, that is what makes him such a challenging opponent here for Fodder, but Fodder literally shook the ring there with that Irish whip.
Yeah, full force there from Fodder and spine first right into that top turnbuckle when Homicide. Homicide down now as Fodder again antagonizing this great crowd here at DCW.
And you can see there's almost a smile there on the face of Homicide. It's almost like Mikey. He likes it. He really, really likes it.
Man, another stiff shot there. A whip across the ring, and again, like you said, GB, he's shaking the whole ring, nearly shaking the building here at Feeding Frenzy.
And no matter how much Homicide might like the punishment, the human body is only meant to take so much. And after 31 years of ring wars, you wonder how much is indeed left in the tank of the legendary Homicide. And we're finding that out with a huge comeback and a great dedication, it looks like, to the late, great Eddie Guerrero.
Gonna go for the trifecta here. Gonna hit all 3 of the Amigos, and there it is.
We got all of them on that one, and there's the shimmy in honor of Latino Heat. Ooh. Count of 2 there.
Fodder able to get that left shoulder up just in time. And
Fodder.
Now both men, getting back to a vertical base. And a back elbow from Fodder trying to break this hold here from Homicide.
Here's what's so wild about Homicide. We talked about his experience. Oh, wow. And that kind of experience allows him to really handle almost anything that comes his way because Homicide has seen so much over 31 years in this business.
Now Homicide with the STF applied here. Wait a second, was that a tap?
Yeah, it looked very much like a tap for a second, but I guess it was only one, not a full 2 or 3 taps there.
Clawing his way to that bottom rope. The referee's right there on top of the action. And man, look at the way that now Homicide has Fodder's arm trapped.
That's a smart move there from Homicide, and this is really once again challenging Fodder there, who he made his way to the ropes.
Now Homicide gonna have to break the hold here, but he's taking advantage of the referee's 5 count.
And now it looks to me like Homicide has got some questions for the referee, thinking and wondering, did indeed, Fodder escape that hold? But again, the ropes require a break.
Now Fodder in trouble here as he's back to his feet. Wait a second, grabbing the referee.
Oh, look at that. Fodder creating his own distraction there.
Give me a break. And now we'll roll up. No, not like this.
This could be over right here.
How about that? Homicide able to kick out after that cheap shot from Psycho Boy Fodder.
And this is normally the space where Fodder would be able to depend on the interference of his love there, the Psycho girl, Angelina Love. So he called a bit of an audible on his own. That's pretty creative there for Fodder.
Yeah, like it or not, sometimes it works. In this case, it almost worked, but Homicide still able to fire up that shoulder after that low blow. But now Fodder bringing him back up the hard way and a straight right hand to the forehead of Homicide.
One of the hardest things to scout when it comes to Fodder is because he uses so many punches and kicks, you really don't know which way he'll be able to take you out.
He charged in, but he caught a back elbow from Homicide. Now Homicide, a rake to the back. And what's he got in mind from the top rope here? Maybe a tornado DDT? Oh, but Fodder saw it coming and able to counter that move.
Impressive reversal there by Fodder, and Fodder now looks to be in control of this contest. He's got Homicide in big trouble right now.
Homicide sent across into the ropes, looking for a hip toss, but no, a counter by Homicide. And Fodder able to block it. Oh, nice overhead throw there from Homicide. As Fodder landed hard right in the center of the ring, now backed up into the corner.
And it looks to me like Homicide is really challenging Fodder, taking him into deep water, but Fodder keeps having a comeback. But there it is!
Koji Cutter from Homicide.
Out of nowhere, and that's enough. He got him.
Well, how about that? Fodder just caught the Koji Cutter from Homicide, and Homicide's your winner here tonight. Man, oh man, what a match.
Huge win there, and Homicide, this is what makes him so dangerous, because it literally, if you were scoring this on points, this one was even, and you might even kind of favor Fodder on this, but it takes a quick Koji Cutter seemingly out of nowhere, and Homicide is your winner.
And you're right, GB, just that quickly how the tide changed, and Fodder seeing defeat here in Dominant Championship Wrestling here at Feeding Frenzy. And what a match, and what a great appearance here as Homicide kisses the canvas. Man, oh man, wait a second. Oh, wait a second.
Whoa.
Easy now, Fodder back in the ring, coming face to face here with Homicide.
And did Homicide grab a weapon of some sort?
Wait a second. A rare sight here is Fodder extending his hand and actually showing respect to the legendary Homicide. How about that, GB?
I've never seen that. Oh, well, there we go. Thank you all for tuning in here to Feeding Frenzy.